Hey guys, welcome to the Lunchbox. My name is Lew and I am joined by...
Me.
He's Uspa, and today we are in some sort of quantum realm type thing.
Meh.
He doesn't care because he got us here. Anyway, we only got a couple of things for you today in the news and stuff. So here we go. As y'all know, the second trailer for Bumblebee just came out. And here to talk about how he hates it, Uspa, why?
Sucks.
Why?
Romanticize robots.
In my opinion, it is good. You know why? Because they finally look like Transformers that I love. Even the relationship with the girl and Bumblebee seem better than all the relationships in the past movie, and they're not gonna do it.
What do you mean?
Well, you think they're gonna do it? That's the problem.
She's gonna do a robot.
Yes. No, they're not. No, she's not.
Because vampires, awesome, blood, Twilights, ruined. Zombies, awesome, blood, warm bodies, ruined.
It's robots.
Robots, oh, blood, awesome. Kisses.
Another thing that came out this week was a bunch of Joker picks for the new movie, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Although he's a pretty good actor, DC has disappointed me in every single movie so far, other than the Dark Knight stuff and Wonder Woman. What do you think of this new Joker picks?
Eyebrows and Joker doesn't work.
And that is all we have for news and stuff, because we got a ton more to cover. Okay, so on the show today, we have part 2 of Asha and Rebecca's Cosplay Confidential, where they talk about the evolution of cosplay.
Yes.
But first, for Hey You Guys, we're gonna chat with the MarriedMakers. Now, who are the MarriedMakers?
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lunchbox. I'm Rebecca, aka Quirckyowl Cosplay, and I'm here with some very special guests. I have here with me the GTA community's MarriedMakers. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
Oh, thank you.
Super excited to be here.
Thanks.
Very excited.
So I just got some questions for you, and it's gonna be easy and fun, and let us know a little bit more about you.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so the first one is you guys are obviously the MarriedMakers. So I wanna know how you guys met.
Okay, well, we met in college about 13 years ago. We both went to the same animation program at Humber College in Etobicoke.
Nice.
I met Wendy, I think it was like our first night on residence. We were just kind of
Drinking and hanging out.
partying.
He lived a couple floors above me in residence, and
Yeah, we met.
then and found out we were in the same program. So.
Yeah, and then we just became really close friends, and then after college we started dating about 10 years ago and got married 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. That's not so bad at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
it's okay.
So I also want to know, how did you guys get into cosplay? Like, was it a thing that happened like during college, or was it like after when you kind of got out? And how long have you guys been doing cosplay?
Well, I kind of started doing it in high school.
Nice.
And I had some there was none of this 3D printing or foam armor really. It was all just sewing and whatever you could make with stuff around the house.
Hot glue gun.
So I did that in grade 9. And then you didn't really get into it until you started dating me.
No, although we did do elaborate Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
And then one year because we've been going to Fan Expo for years, and she's like, let's just dress up. We should both do it. I'm like, I don't know. But then I realized I've been basically cosplaying every Halloween with elaborate, over-the-top Halloween costumes, so okay. And we started doing it, 6 years ago, 5 years ago? It's just around we got married.
After we got married. What was
Yeah.
the first one we did together?
I was Spider-Man
And I was Magic.
from X-Men.
From X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were horrible.
But yeah, we started it. And
That's kind of where it started, and each year got better and better and better. And now it's a yearly tradition. We go to Fan Expo every year. Well, except for this last year, we went to Dragon Con, but
Nice.
hope we can go again this year. Yeah.
Yeah, well, everyone has to start somewhere. Like, I mean,
yeah.
we don't talk about my first cosplay,
I'm sure
No
it was
one likes to talk
amazing.
about their first cosplay.
and that's just how it works. So you guys specialize in 3D printing. Was that more of a recent thing, or have you guys always been interested in it?
We've always, well, we're both computer animators, or well, at least we were for the last 10 years. So 3D always came second nature to us, playing around in our own spare time. And when printers started getting bigger, we started looking into it more and more. And then a good friend of ours got a 3D printer, and he started showing us the stuff he was coming out with, and it was really cool shit. And we went to Fan Expo, and we met some guys from Shop 3D, and they were showing us a bunch of printers, and that really hooked us. And then we bought one, and we were actually only going to use it for like figurines and
Yeah, like our own personal models of characters and stuff.
Like
'cause
for D&D and stuff like that?
exactly.
like
we
miniatures
actually have a
and
bunch
stuff.
of
See?
3D printed D&D stuff.
I do character modeling at the studio I work at, so like I'm professionally a 3D modeler. And our friend was making his own figurines with this 3D printer, and we're like, this is so cool. And this is right when Overwatch came out too. So when we bought the printer, they had these like cool like Soldier 76 guns, and like we were just like, this is so cool. So we bought a printer that's meant for like big giant props, because we decided like, we have a friend who does the small stuff, like why don't we just make giant
Just
stuff?
start big.
And
Go
it
big
just,
or go home.
yeah, it just started out with like one prop here or there, and then we got used to it, and now it's like basically all we do. Now
all
it's
our
our
spare
whole life
time.
now.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, they look amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Is there any one of these ones that you want to kind of like talk about a little bit more? Because I mean, like, they all look amazing.
You pick one, and I'll pick
Yeah,
one.
well, my most elaborate and favorite one is my Crusader helmet. Really, really happy with how that turned out, because it was the most, I really did a lot of experimenting with this one, and like, I have basic electronic LEDs, I got magnets, I have I did a few different painting techniques that I really liked, and just overall, I was really, really happy with how it turned out. But when I first decided to do it, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna tackle this, and just over months, I just picked away at things and tried new ideas and
Problem solving,
Yeah,
failures,
yeah.
and successes.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
It's typically how it works.
I really love my Fran helmet, my Final Fantasy 12 Fran helmet, just because I think when people think of 3D printing, they think of giant bulky weapons and stuff. So Shop 3D sent us some really nice filament to try for a printer. I think it was the Pro 1 filament. It's supposed to be really like high detail and fast and smooth. So I was like, okay, let's try something really complicated and whimsical kind of looking.
And what's more whimsical than Final Fantasy?
Exactly. And I absolutely love how it turned out, and I think that's my favorite piece right now.
It is absolutely stunning, and the ears are massive, and the fact that you got them to balance on it really speaks about the structure.
Oh yeah, that thing is not coming off ever. I actually want to build the rest of her armor. It's a lot of modeling though, so I'm working on it right now.
I look forward to seeing the progress.
Thank you.
And you guys just recently started at a different company, right? Were you guys recruited, or was it kind of a different process?
Yeah, actually, I'm the only one working there full-time right now, but she's on the side for like, if they need freelance.
Support.
I'm on call for 3D modeling.
3D modeling and
If they
support.
need it, yeah.
It's just right now, they don't really have a need for that at the moment. But they actually reached out through us through Instagram. One of the guys who works there, Jara, he has an Instagram page, and he started following us, and we had no idea he worked for Henchman. And then one day, Henchman started following us, and then they messaged us. And they just reached out and said, hey, we'd love to collaborate with you guys to do some work. Are you interested? And I distinctly remember this, because when she told me, I almost fell out of the shower, because she ran into the bathroom and she's like, guess what, guess what, guess what? And I'm like, what? Holy crap. And I like grabbed the curtain, and I thought something was wrong when she told me.
We were really excited.
Yeah, we were just so excited. So we messaged him back and we're like, yeah, we'd love to. What do you guys have in mind, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, why don't you just come in for just a chat? And we met Jordan, who's the owner and founder, and he's a super cool guy. And after talking to him for, I don't know, like a couple hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, he said,
yeah.
I would love for you guys to work for us. And we're like, oh, okay.
We didn't expect
We
like,
didn't
an offer
expect
right away.
something like that. And so the next few days, we had lots of long talks about what we're gonna do, because we have jobs in the animation industry, but this was a hobby that started growing into a passion, and it's something we've always talked about pursuing, and here it was just kind of popping up for us. So I decided, well, we both decided that I should start there, and why not give it a shot? And it's awesome.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. Is there any pieces that you yourselves are working on that you guys want to debut in the near future, or a possible convention that you want to show it off?
Well, we're working on some more Diablo 3 cosplays.
Nice.
Because that's what we wore to Dragon Con. I did a Demon Hunter Marauder, and you did the Crusader, which is right here. And my Demon Hunter helmet's back there.
Nice luminous in the back.
I know, it looks awesome with that spotlight on it. But they're really cool, and they're really complicated builds. So we're looking at like characters we can try for the next Dragon Con, because they take a really long time to make with the 3D printer.
Also not fun driving it all the way down to Atlanta. It's like a 16-hour trek.
Yeah,
I think actually for this year, for the costumes we're looking to do is a little more simple in design, but complex in engineering and structure. Like I'm looking into possible moving parts, like mechanical moving parts, stuff like that.
So it doesn't fall off us while we're wearing it.
That's always the trick, isn't it? Always.
Common
Like,
problem.
okay, bring the mini glue gun. Let's
Exactly.
go. Off to the convention. Duct
Exactly.
tape.
Yeah.
Because as we know, game physics doesn't work in the real world.
No, not at all.
Like, they just don't work. So it's always a fine line you have to balance between functionality and form and visual appeal. So
What was the name of the ones we were looking at?
she's looking at the monk, raiment of storms.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I'm looking at the witch doctor. It's the spirit of Erikir, or Erikar. It's like a spider costume. It has moving legs and moving parts. And
Super complicated.
really complicated, but super fun.
Yeah.
And I find it helps to have like set a big goal for the end of the year, because then it keeps you on track, keeps you focused.
It really does. And it definitely helps with motivation as well, you know, just kind of seeing the characters there and then the thought of bringing that to life.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
exciting, for sure.
Awesome. The other thing that I want to ask is, aside from all of this, your 3D printing, you guys also recently started being a supplier for our high-density EVA foam, double-sided smooth. Thank you for that. Thank you.
welcome. Yeah.
What made you guys decide to get into that? And was there like a whole big process that you guys had to go through too?
A huge process. Here,
Okay.
You take this one. Yeah.
So, as we all know, as cosplayers, EVA foam is very hard to get a hold of in Canada, at least quality ones. Otherwise, we're stuck with dollar store foam mats or even gym foam mats, but you have to sand it and make it smooth. We all know the pain. There's a website in the States called TNT Cosplay that we'd always order from, and they have this nice, smooth, double-sided foam, and it's just such good quality and amazing that we're like, I wish we had something like that here. And it's too expensive to ship from the States, because shipping and handling is just ludicrous when coming into Canada. So we're like, well, why don't we just do it? So we looked into it, and then we got a hookup
Supply.
somewhere. And then through some other connections, we got some.
Ominous.
I know, it sounds like we're dealing with like black market,
black market foam or something.
It's all a map.
Yeah.
We ordered it from China, pretty much.
Yeah, but we know some people that help us with the importing stuff, the like import taxes and docking fees, because it came by boat, and
Like a huge storage
it's a
container,
huge hassle. And I was like,
carrier.
I don't know how to do this. So luckily we know someone that helped us out with that, and we just kind of paid them to do it. And we literally moved it all ourselves. It was like over 1,200 pounds when we first got it. And we got two moving vans full. And we're just like schlepping this stuff like.
The fumes almost killed us on the ride home.
Because they're
Back of the
constantly
van.
degassing, but now they're all degassed, it's all good. But
There you go.
yeah, and we decided, let's just try it out, see how it goes. And we got a lot of good reception. People seem to love it.
Yeah. And there's
we're-
a demand for it too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, isn't there?
And not just in cosplay. I know some people have reached out who are doing prototyping for products and other stuff like that.
there's some construction stuff
people,
that we're looking for.
Cool.
It's like random product, like or projects you wouldn't even think of. Like, oh, I need a sheet of foam for this. I'm like, Awesome.
Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. For all your foam needs.
Done. Nice. I love that because I know I have some of the foam and I love it and I'm very excited to build more things with it.
Good. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, thank you.
So being cosplayers and having our own sense of community, I wanted to ask you guys, like, what do you guys love about our Toronto GTA community?
People.
Yeah.
I know it's a pretty broad one, but no, I think everyone I've met at a convention, everyone's so supportive and nice and just awesome to be around. Like, I've never had like asshole, like come up to me at a convention and like be a total for no reason.
Yeah, like, oh, that's not accurate.
No,
or this,
everyone's
that. Everyone's so cool here.
On Instagram, everyone's super awesome to deal with.
And it's so supportive of each other. Like, people are posting, hey, check these guys out, check this out, check this out. And like, even when we're selling our foam, someone's like, oh, I can't pick it up, but my friend can pick it up. Like, oh, we already know you and we know you. And it's just so, it's small and we're just getting into the community now, but it's just so nice that I really enjoy the, I guess, sense of community.
camaraderie.
That's a better, yeah.
It's like a little cosplay home.
Yeah.
It is. Like, people message you on Instagram being like, hey, I saw this, it's awesome, like, thanks. And then you chat and you get to know them and what they're making, and then you follow each other. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really nice to just talk to all these different people that you never would have met any other way, so.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of social media as well, and having a nice platform for us cosplayers, because that's huge. Probably Instagram is the biggest one for us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But speaking of Instagram, I'm done with questions pretty much, but I do have one more question. Where is it that our friends who are watching can, follow you, get in connection with you, maybe get a hookup on that foam?
Little back alley deal on the phone.
Yeah, a little back alley deal.
Yeah.
Just at MarriedMakers on Instagram. That's like our main thing. We're also on Facebook at MarriedMakers.
MarriedMakers.
Same thing.
We also have an email, marriedmakers@gmail.com.
Ah, perfect.
So everything is just MarriedMakers. And
We get a lot of questions about 3D printing, the products we use, the foam. People message us all the time about foam. So if you guys need foam or 3D printing tips, just let us know.
Yeah,
We'll talk to everybody.
Always happy to help with modeling, printing stuff, anything like that. I'm always happy.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, you guys, for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. Please go and follow them at the MarriedMakers, and little shameless plug, follow me at Quirckyowl Cosplay. And obviously follow the Lunchbox TV on Instagram. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
for having us.
Welcome back to the Lunchbox. And if the MarriedMakers doesn't inspire you to build your own armor, I don't know what will. Coming up, it is part 2 of Cosplay Confidential. The evolution of cosplay.
I remember when I started, finding tutorials was so difficult, man. The quality was so low. Not even, like, to begin, like, my first cosplay was a bot cosplay. It was Alice from Pandora Hearts. Birabitu. And which is a manga series that got later adapted into an anime series. And my wig that I ordered came in the wrong color. I still wore it. I didn't know how to dye it. I didn't even know that that was an option back then. Looking back now, I probably would have been able to dye it and do something with it because it was red and her hair is amber brown. The quality wasn't bad, but like the boot covers were awful and the shipping was overpriced and the cosplay was overpriced. You look at it now, you can probably find the exact same cosplay, if not at a better quality, for almost like a quarter of the price.
Exactly, it's amazing. And now we saw the evolution of the famous Star Trek conventions, people dressing up, as Spock, other...
Princess Leia.
Yeah, and it's like you go from these simple costumes, and now we're seeing the evolution so quickly into giant, massive armors. Now we have Reinhardt from Overwatch, huge armor, and people are making life-sized versions of these characters.
On the stilts.
Yeah,
like
on stilts.
Learning, dedication.
Crazy. And now the furry community, there's a lot of people who try to make them more animal-like. They'll put stilts on their hands to make the 4-leg thing go all equal, and it's like there's all these little things that people are learning along the way and sharing their knowledge, and it just makes this huge pool of amazing stuff. Like we take digigrade legs, for example. There's these cool stilts where your feet are put at an angle, and I don't know how it works. I'm gonna try learn how to make it, but it attaches to the whole leg. I don't know how people walk in it.
No idea.
A wooden base, whatever. But it looks like an animal leg.
Yep.
And it's incredible that we can replicate things like that. The average person, they don't even have to work for a movie.
No.
Anything like that?
Yeah, and there's, like we said before, there are tutorials, there are PDFs, there are layouts and everything for that kind of stuff now. And it's great, it's amazing. So.
And even if you don't know how to make it, don't have the resources to make it, there's so many people who commission these things now. Where it's like, if you have a bit of change, someone else can do the work for you. And it's like, before you could have gone to a seamstress, they'd be like, I don't know what the heck this is, but okay. You know?
Sure.
And now you have people who specialize in these fancy, crazy costumes.
Elaborate.
And it's normal. Everything's super normal now.
And it's become a career path for many people. Like for cosplayers, there are cosplayers that we've mentioned before, Kinpatsu, Kamui, Yayahan,
Jessica Negri. Yeah.
Holly Wolf, some other people that we even interviewed at Fan Expo. Go check out that episode.
Little plug.
Right? But that have made careers out of it. Like they get paid to go to conventions, show up their presence, they model.
Exactly.
There are other jobs as well. Like you said before, the commissioners, the people who get paid to make costume parts, which is nothing to be ashamed at all, buying or making your costume yourself. Either one is amazing. And photographers. Now, I know you do some photography. I would love to know a little bit of your opinion and insight on this.
Definitely. Now, photography has really expanded because of the cosplay community. Before, it was like, hey, you can have a model, you can have a landscape, you can have a bug, you can have a dog. But now it's like, you can have a samurai warrior, you can have a Joker, you can have some crazy fantasy character you've never heard of, someone so elaborate that you're like, I need a picture of this. And this has turned into a great way of making kind of like a hobby money, you know, side money. They obviously, most of them don't charge as much as, you know, the average regular photographer, but that's also what makes it so accessible for the cosplay community. It's very much like on a volume thing.
Yeah, and not just that, but they're usually specialized prices for conventions, right?
Exactly.
So sometimes they'll cut a little bit of price off because it's easier to meet up at one point versus travel out of their way.
Exactly. It's like, I'm at this convention, I'll go meet up with 5 people at different times, do my thing, and it's like, it's convenient for me, it's convenient for them, because we're all there at once.
Yeah.
But also, these are just regular people. They're not always models. They're just there for the cosplay, and they have access to amazing photos of themselves. Now, if anyone's like me and a lot of other cosplayers, we love great quality pictures of ourselves.
Oh yeah.
So that's an amazing thing to have show off. And yeah, it's incredible what has happened out of this. And we also have the evolution of commercial products.
Oh my God.
Now, we talked a bit about Warbler, the thermoplastic. There's other thermoplastics now evolving, like Thibra, which is pretty much the same thing, a bit smoother. There's a greater need for, you know, Dremels, heat guns, all this
Oh my God.
stuff.
Hot glue, contact cement.
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a second because that's a whole different conversation. But we have Yaya Han. She capitalized on this whole thing, which is incredible of her, a great favorite of the cosplay community. Now, first of all, she has a shop that sells Warbler.
Yes, online.
That's already amazing. We have a lot of local places nearby as well, like in Toronto, downtown by Spadina, there's Gortzman's. That's personally where I get my Warbler from. They have black Warbler, clear Warbler.
It's easier than going out and paying more shipping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yaya Han is working with Joann's Fabrics.
Right, which is an American company, right?
Exactly. And she makes a lot of fabrics which are very specifically catered to cosplayers. We've got 4-way stretch fabric, which stretches 4 ways. Very high quality. There's fake leather, pleather. And there's a lot of other fabrics which are very specialized for us.
Yeah, and it's easier to use as well. Like, she made sure that it was easier to use. And she also does tutorials, or no, what was it? Patterns.
Patterns with McCall's.
Right, with McCall's Patterns, which is a huge patterning company. Like, the fact that she's getting all of these deals and access and just getting it out there for us is amazing.
Exactly. And she has super popular patterns, such as her full bodysuit.
Got that one.
That one is incredibly helpful.
I love that one.
And bodysuits are such, a big thing for cosplayers. It's great for undersuits, it's great for the actual suit of the cosplay, and it can be modified for any color, any design, stuff
any
like
size, long, short.
As well as Sailor Scouts. She has a pattern for that as well, and that's a very popular cosplay. It can be used for Venus, Mercury, Saturn, literally all the Scouts.
You could even do the mixed ones. That's another thing that became popular was the Mod Podge cosplays. What happens if like Adventure Time characters are the Sailor Scouts?
Yeah.
Right, all that fun jazz. Yaya Han has done so much, and on her website, she not only sells like her photos and like the links to Joanne's and McCall's and stuff like that, but she also does some props, right? So she actually does, I believe, some elf ears.
That is true.
I know that she also does some little cute wings and some like cat ears and stuff like that if you want an accessory for cosplay. But there are a few ones who have really done a lot for us and just kind of helped pave the path.
And I find a lot of these things, as people learn more things, it becomes more innovative. Now we have prosthetics, which has been a very big thing.
Yes.
That probably wasn't a thing 10 years ago. At least accessible for us.
Not publicized, yeah.
Yes.
Like definitely much stayed in the movie SFX community, for sure. But yeah, no, has definitely become much more accessible.
Yeah, now you could be a Klingon, a little
The brow.
scrappy forehead, you can have horns, you can have fangs, like you can have grills. But you can have things popping out of your face, and it's, it's just all expanding our knowledge.
And it's
fantastic.
great. I love it.
It's amazing. And it teaches us a lot to work with unconventional materials, which, I don't think there's a lot of, I'd say normal girls who know how to work a power drill, know how to work with, all
a heat gun, a Dremel, a saw, bandsaw. Like you with your armor is like, I bet you your methods have changed now versus your first cosplay that you made, right?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Cosplay's evolved. It's constantly evolving, and we can only hope that it's going to get bigger and better for us and everyone else.
And I am so looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us at Cosplay Confidential.
And we'll see you next time.
Hello and welcome to the Heroes World Comic Review for the Lunchbox. I'm Andre, and this week we have got 4 great books for you to check out. New Comic Book Day is always chock full of exciting new titles, and I can only give you a handful, so let's start. First up, I've talked several times about Brian Michael Bendis and his work on Superman, and this week's issue of Action Comics 1003 is no different. Just another excellent comic, but this time not only do we get Superman, but we get Batman. Clark Kent, as a reporter, is injured by kryptonite as one of his fellow reporters is trying to do an expose on Superman, and who does he call in to help thwart that plan? None other than the Dark Knight himself. Cool book. It shows the friendship between the world's finest and how good they can be while they work together. That's Action Comics 1003 by DC Comics. Next up, we go to Gotham for Batgirl, and Barbara Gordon is injured in this issue. She's been fighting a guy named Grotesque, and her implant that helps her walk has taken some damage, so it looks like she might be heading to that wheelchair again. But if you know anything about the Gordons, they never give up. So she dons a new Batgirl costume and she's out to stop this criminal. But this guy's pretty smart and actually turns the tables on her and frames her for murder. That's Batgirl from this week and DC Comics. This book looks fantastic. You gotta check it out. So, if you're like many of the people out there who are enjoying Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4, you definitely need to pick up Marvel's comic, Spider-Geddon #0. That's right, this is the first in-comic appearance of that awesome cool Spider-Man suit, and we see Otto Octavius coming from another dimension to recruit this new Spider-Man in the upcoming Spider-Geddon. There's going to be more Spider-Men than you can count, and a threat that is going to try and take them all out. This Spider-Geddon book had great art by Clayton Crane, and we got to have some interesting moments as the two Spider-Men worked together to take out the tarantula. You have to check out this book from Marvel Comics. It's Spider-Geddon #0. And last but definitely not least for this week is Heroes in Crisis by DC Comics. Tom King has been killing it on Batman. He's been writing excellent tales as well as doing a bang-up job on Mr. Miracle. And this time he's going to tackle issues where superheroes are just basically having PTSD and they are breaking down, but the holy trinity of comics, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, decide to build a sanctuary for those heroes that basically need to decompress, need to come together and help each other on more of an emotional level. But what happens when somebody infiltrates that sanctuary and murders our heroes? Wow, this book, it is just like heavy. So we see Booster Gold dealing with Harley Quinn, and that's like, you think Comedy Central? No, this is some serious action, some serious animosity. A dark tale. This is the first issue of an 8-issue limited series. And wow, I gotta tell you, the mystery is already amped up, and unfortunately, we've already seen some casualties of war. I don't wanna spoil it, but you definitely wanna pick this book up. Even if you're not a big fan of the DC stuff, this is gonna be a well-written tale, and it is drawn fantastically. So there you have 4 books for you to check out. As always, make sure you support your local comic book store. Get in there, see what they have to offer, and keep on reading.
And that is all for this week. Thank you for checking out the Lunchbox.
All right, guys, that's all for this week. I'm Lew.
No, I'm Lew. You're Uspa.
He is a man of many words. We are on FTV every Thursday. Please catch us. And if you missed any of our episodes, please check out our YouTube channel. And while you're at it, check out the rest of our socials. Right here. Next week on the show, we have Shirt Punch. And Uspa's gonna do something. I don't know yet, but again, reporting from the quantum realm.
All right, guys, that's all for this week. I'm Uspa.
And I'm Lew. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.